Hello, my name is Miss Klasowski and I'd like to introduce you to the wonderful world of BTEC Health and Social Care. So the BTEC Health and Social Care Award is a BTEC qualification, and what that means is that it's the equivalent to a GCSE, and this is where we're a little bit different, because with the GCSE, the assessment is often done at the end of the 2-year course. With the BTEC award, what we do is we have our assessment going through the course and through the years, so we know where we are with our progress. So let me introduce it to you. Let's see what we're going to be getting up to. So the first question really is, why should you do health and social care? Well, instead of me actually telling you why, here are some comments from our students about why they chose it. And what I quite like about these comments is actually it's linked to everyday life. It's linked to the fact that actually the skills we use, what we actually do, how we do it can be applied to any aspect of careers and progression. One thing that is quite good is that with this qualification, it is a mixture of both coursework and exam. So if you know that perhaps you struggle right at the end with all the exams, in health and social care, we can actually work towards our final grade through the coursework we complete in structured, supervised sessions. One of the comments I really like is the not just a girl subject. And I'd like to blow this perception out of the water now, because health and social care isn't just for females. It isn't just for girls. We have a lot of gentlemen, a lot of lads on our courses that actually thrive with health and social care because they're learning about people and they're learning about things that are relevant to their life and future progression. It is a qualification that can help you go into the health and social care sector, but it isn't a qualification that will limit you to the health and social care sector. It can make you go further and beyond into so many different career paths that we'll continue to look at. Here's the structure. And like what I mentioned previously, we have both coursework and an exam. There are 3 units overall, and these are called components. And we look through these throughout years 10 and 11. The first 2 components, human lifespan development and health and social care services and values, are coursework. And what happens with that is you are set 2 assignments. You have a set time to complete those assignments in school with myself, supervised. Once you hand that assignment in, I mark it. My marking gets checked just to make sure that I'm on the right tracks. And then if you've handed it in on time, and if there is evidence of your work that you can get a higher grade, you potentially could get the chance to have a submission period. Now, a resubmission period is where you have your assignment back, you can go over it, improve it, see if you can get a higher grade than you've already been awarded, and then hand it in for assessment. Now, once that resubmission period is done, that is it. That coursework is completed, you will not go back to it, and that is your grade there. So for human lifespan development and health and social care services and values, we have 2 sets of coursework, 2 assignments for each component. I mark them, they get checked. Resubmission phase, I mark it, get checked again, and it's done. Now, in the January, February time in year 11, we actually enter you for your official BTEC Health and Social Care exam. And this is component 3, and it's all about health and well-being. Okay, this is an examination. It's set by Pearson's, the exam board. It takes 2 hours to complete. And what happens is that we complete it in the January-February series of exams in year 11. If you don't get your desired grade that you would like, or we believe that perhaps with a little bit more help you could get a higher grade, you can have the chance to retake it in the summer series of year 11. If you are happy with your grade when you get your results from that January-February series, that's it, it's done. One less exam to think about. Always a winner. So let's have a look about what the course actually is. So as you can see here, this is a bit of a breakdown of each component. And in component 1, it's all about humans. It's all about us. It's all about how we grow. And in health and social care, we love this word called PIES. And I'm not on about your apple type. PIES means our physical, intellectual, emotional and social development. And what we do in component 1 is we see what happens and how that changes and grows from the moment we are born right through all our life stages to the final stages of our life. And there's a lot of change, and it's quite interesting to find out what goes on. We also look at in this component how different factors impact you. So what happens when perhaps you have a child? What happens perhaps if you're made redundant? What happens perhaps if you have an accident? How does this affect us, and how can we adapt with the support we need? 2 pieces of coursework, remember, all internally assessed by myself. Component 2 is health and social care services and values. And this is basically what we look at to see how we can treat people with the correct care that they need. We look at the whole notion of what types of care there are. So we look at formal, informal, voluntary. And then we also look at what qualities are needed in order to become an effective health and social care practitioner. Now remember, that doesn't mean that you are going to be a health and social care practitioner. You don't have to choose it into your job, but it links to how we communicate with people. It links how we treat people in a professional and caring way. So skills that can go into any profession. Our final component is that exam 1. It's that health and well-being. And what we look at here is we look at what things can influence us in a positive way and in a negative way in order to help our health and development. We're going to be able to look at data and what this tells us. We look at how we actually can put a plan that could be useful for us to achieve targets. And we look at things of what can get in the way of that plan. What stops us from achieving our goals. So 3 different components that are really interesting and different. And also you can link it to everyday real life, useful for any career. The final thing that I want to sort of link to is why should you do this? What skills will I get? Where am I going to go in the future? Well, as you can see, there's lots and lots of options. Okay, the skills you develop can be linked to any career and pathway. So it's not just a health and social care vocation you can go into. We can look at things that are easily transferable. So skills such as managing time, using ICT effectively, being able to use data effectively and come up with conclusions that the data suggests. You can study this qualification further if you choose to, both at the sixth form partnership and the college. Okay, and you can actually go into universities and study different areas and become more of a specialist in the areas that we look at. The professions and jobs that someone who studies health and social care can go into: health management, being a nurse, becoming a teacher, physiotherapist, working in any role of social work. It can lead to so much more. And that's it. Hopefully you found my session a little bit useful. Remember, if you have any questions about health and social care, please feel free to either see me or drop me an email. It's a different qualification, it's about real people, and I think you'll enjoy it.